What's going on, guys? Briar Rabbit here. Today we're going to start a much requested video series, and that is going over all of the best vendor weapons for each weekly reset. This one's been requested quite a few times. We're going to play with the format over the next couple of weeks or so, and my goal here is to try and get these things done as fast as possible, meaning that the information be conveyed to you as quickly as possible, but as clearly as possible. I want to explain what is good and why it's good and where it is best used. So let's start off with New Monarchy. There's two weapons here that I really like. The first is a sidearm here. We got the Impeacher. We got True Sight IS, Sure Shot IS, armor-piercing rounds, quick draw, hand-loaded, relentless tracker, and rangefinder. Why I like this is because rangefinder, hand-loaded, quick draw makes this a very dynamic weapon with a lot of range for a sidearm and should be very useful in the Crucible. Next, I also like the shotgun here. I don't like it as much, but it is kind of a cool roll. It's a slightly higher fire rate shotgun than what we're used to using in the Crucible. But now that the Crucible isn't dominated by shotguns, the shotgun meta is basically over, I think you could find a lot of use for this. It's got rangefinder, it's got close and or personal, it's got flared magwell or quick draw. I'd probably run quick draw there, and then we've got aggressive ballistics. It's not that max range shotgun that was so popular just 3 or 4 months ago, but it is going to be a lot of fun in the Crucible. You can even take it into PvP or PvE and have a lot of fun with it as well. Next, over at Dead Orbit, we've got the Keystone 01, a very interesting scout rifle for PvE. This thing's got crowd control, perfect balance, outlaw, and explosive rounds, and it's also got the red dot ORA, the range lens RLS3, and the reflex, which is my personal favorite. This thing's going to be a lot of fun in PvE with those explosive rounds, outlaw, and crowd control. You're going to be able to do a lot of DPS very quickly. You're going to have to worry a little bit about that stability, but if you're careful with it, you should be fine. Future War Cult is very interesting this week with 3 very good rolls. The first one is a fusion rifle, the Waiting. I like this one because it's a high-impact fusion rifle, which is very successful in the Crucible. It's got rangefinder and hammered forge for 2 range perks. We've also got accelerated coils or quick draw and a good selection of sights. I'll be checking this one out in the Crucible this week for sure. We also got a really good scout rifle this week from FWC, the Wounded. This one's got crowd control, hammer forged, unflinching, explosive rounds, or full auto. This one can really be set up in a few different ways that I like. Obviously, crowd control is a great PvE perk. Hammer forge is going to give you a little bit better range and accuracy. Unflinching is going to allow you to keep shooting without taking a lot of flinch from your enemies. We got explosive rounds, which is great in PvE, or full auto if you just want to go lazy and just hold down the trigger. I like this thing. I think it's a really interesting roll. The only problem with it that I see is there are no stability perks, and using full auto with that amount of stability could be a little off-putting. We also have some good sights here, the red dot ORA2, the range lens, and the reflex sight. Next up, we have another great roll on the Wormwood. This one's got Hot Swap. It's got fitted stock for increased weapon stability, cascade, high caliber rounds, or once again, quick draw. And we've got True Sight IS, Sure Shot IS, and Quick Draw IS. Saying once again is an absolute beast. So if you haven't picked one up this far, go ahead and get yourself a Wormwood. They are very, very, very good. The Vanguard Quartermaster isn't offering a whole lot in God-rolled weapons this week. I did see one shotgun that I like quite a bit, although it's got a very specific purpose in my eyes. The Occam's Razor is void this week, and while it doesn't have full auto, it's not that God-tier full auto roll. I could see a use for this in specifically the Vault of Glass. Rangefinder, reinforced barrel, lightweight performance bonus, aggressive ballistics. The reason I say that is because with performance bonus, with rangefinder, and with reinforced barrel, you are going to get some use out of this thing against the Praetorians in the Vault of Glass. It could be very useful there. And with performance bonus, your risk of running out of shotgun ammo is going to be much lower. So it may be worth trying. If you've already got a really good void shotgun, it's probably a skip, but I wanted to point it out. Last but not least, we got the Crucible Quartermaster and 2 really good rolls. The first of which is another scout rifle, the Hero Formula. What's cool here is how well this weapon works with itself, how well the perks actually coincide with each other. So we got a good selection of sights, but we've also got life support, take a knee, brace frame, armor-piercing rounds, and reactive reload. What I like here, obviously, is the very high stability with brace frame. I also like the fact that when you get into a firefight and you take some damage, life support has a chance to give you your health back, but if you reload, you're also going to be doing more damage for that second follow-up firefight. So I like that. This gun is going to help you stay in those firefights longer. If you're playing support for a teammate who's rushing up, you're just going to be that much more effective and that much more deadly after you reload and get reactive reload going. I think this is a really cool setup. I'm going to try this one out in the Crucible this week myself. We also have another really good sidearm, Anton's Rule. This one's got Steady Hand IS, Sure Shot IS, Quick Draw IS. We've got Outlaw, Feeding Frenzy, Hand Loaded, Casket Mag, and Hot Swap. So this thing's going to be very good as well. So overall, not a bad week for the vendors in the tower, but nothing I would really say is an absolute must-have god roll. You can't live without it. The Hera formula is probably the most interesting out of everything I saw. I would definitely like to pick up the Waiting from Future War Cult as well and try that out in the Crucible. I do enjoy a good fusion rifle on occasion. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I will see you guys tomorrow.